Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the part 2 of the comparison between these Snapdragon 820 phones. Let's continue our conversation from last time and let's talk about a few other things. Some things that are definitely worth mentioning. The first thing I want to say, the expandable storage on these two phones are great. Obviously the availability to drop 128 or 256 gig SD card or whatever size card you have here, it's absolutely amazing, regardless of the fact that they both come with 32 gigs of internal storage, which is kind of a small when you think of it compared to these or other phones. But expandable storage is a huge plus, so that gives them some more advantage. Both the Limax 2 and the Lenovo Zook Z2 have 64 gigs of internal storage and 4 gigs of RAM. By the way, all of them have 4 gigs of RAM. These two as well, all of them 4 gigs of RAM. But these two have 64 gigs of internal storage. Not expandable, but at the same time, I think very respectable size. So you still can use both for plenty of videos, plenty of pictures, and the USB Type-C as pretty fast. Plug it into your computer, download your photos, or upload them directly to Google Photos or other third-party cloud-based system, and you're going to be good to go with no problem. So I still believe that that's not a problem, that having no expandable storage. Plus, all the companies are moving towards that these days, so it really is no big deal. Music and 3.5mm headphone jacks. Obviously that's a pretty painful subject. All these phones have it, and I'm glad that even the today's and this year's flagship from Samsung and LG preserved that functionality. Cutting off still relevant and very convenient functionality from phones or any other device is absolutely mind-blowing to me and makes no sense, but it is what it is. The Samsung and the LG deliver great quality from the headphone jack. Of course, same goes for the Lenovo Zook Z2. I absolutely love that the 3.5mm headphone jack is on the bottom on both these phones. This one is on the top. It's, I'm still glad it's there. It's a little bit inconvenient, but I prefer it to be there than being omitted altogether. So the last one will go to this Lenovo Zook, the Limax 2, because there is no headphone jack anywhere. You have the Type-C and kind of a adapter in the box. Limax and Echo went to the extent of removing all these from pretty much every single model they have currently, which is a bit of a bummer and something that I don't like at all, because it's very inconvenient, and I don't care how great that DAC they have inside, that CDLA is, how great that is. I still want to use my high-end expensive headphones directly through the headphone jack, and why not just use or implement situation like the HTC 10 last year, where you have still built in a great DAC and you have that output delivered through the 3.5mm headphone jack. But it is what it is. Enough ranting about that. Everybody has a different opinion. This is mine. I'd rather use my old school cable headphones that I spend a lot of money on and just plug it in and listen to the music. Alright, moving on to speaker location and sound quality and kind of a sound delivery. The Samsung is okay. Obviously, the water improvement they did on the phone is preventing it from delivering really a great sound through that speaker, because it has to be protected. But at the same time is really not that bad. The LG has great sound, loud and clear, but not loud enough in my opinion. And towards the end, the higher end of the volume kind of distorts a little bit of the sound. From all of them, in my mind, the best speaker is of the Echo Limax 2. Great sound, super loud, super clear. Absolutely love it. I think that's the best single or mono speaker on a phone that I've ever seen or heard, at least in my possession. So this one definitely goes for the Max 2. And the Lenovo Zook Z2 has a good speaker again, very loud, very clear, but it cannot be matched against this one. Probably is on the same level as the LG G5. Some other functionality, obviously the inclusion of the infrared IR blaster on the Max 2 is great. Same goes for the G5. One thing that you don't see that much these days, unfortunately Samsung removed it from their phones, their flagships, and there's nothing on the Lenovo Zook Z2. Another thing to talk about, fingerprint sensors. Although the one on the Samsung S7 Edge is great, the biggest annoyance for me is you actually have to trigger it by pushing the button. So pushing the button and then place your finger. For me, that's a little bit of an extra step that it's not necessary. So I don't know why Samsung did that, or did that in several phones, including this one. But it's pretty annoying. The one on the LG G5 doubles as a power button, which is okay, I guess. Pretty accurate, maybe 9 out of 10 times unlocks the phone with no problem. So just place your finger on the back and it unlocks it with no issues. The one on the Max 2 is a bit finicky, and a lot of people are complaining and saying there's issues. It's a bit slow. I mean, see, I place my finger and 1, 2, so maybe a second. It's not the greatest. It's not the fastest, but it's still working, at least on my phone. Some people are saying that theirs are failing, so that's why I'm saying it's a bit finicky here. But the one on the Lenovo Zook Z2 is absolutely amazing. It's fast, it's super responsive. You don't have to press the button. You just place your finger on top of it, and there you go. 10 out of 10 times opens no problem, and just goes perfectly well. Being on the front, very convenient. I like the ones in the back because they're not on the way, but the ones on the front are very easy to access. So again, not a clear winner here, but maybe the Lenovo and the LG G5, and very close by the S7 Edge. But the fact that you have to press it, it's a bit annoying. Alright, so what else we can talk about? Retail packaging. This one was great, included headphones. This one was okay, no headphones in it. This one is absolutely amazing. Case, headphones, adapter, SIM ejector 2, pretty amazing and spectacular package. But Le Max or Le Echo have the same pretty much package across all of their phones in the last year. So at least one thing I really like about that they're not skimping on the accessories, regardless of how expensive the phone is and what class the phone is. And last one goes for the Lenovo Zook Z2, charger and a cable, nothing else, nothing fancy. But again, this is a budget phone, so under $170, great, absolutely great. So let's summarize at the end real quick and talk about price to performance ratio and who's going to be my winner. And without me delaying anymore, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. For me, the LG G5 is the absolute winner here. Having the price tag under $300 for a brand that it's well respected, huge. LG, obviously, it's been on the market for a long time, works on Verizon, delivers a great camera, delivers a great screen, battery life is okay, replaceable battery, infrared sensor, size that it's kind of between the biggest 5.7 or 5.5 and the smallest, the 5, so this is 5.3, still very good, one of the greatest, especially this unlocked version, no bloatware at all, came, and got upgraded to Android 7. So again, very good. The only one, by the way, among all of them that doesn't have Android 7, at least natively, it's the Limax 2. There's a Lineage Android 7 based unofficial for it. I still haven't tested it, but I'm gonna wait for the official one before I try to put it on. But for now, all these other ones, actually this one had the Android 7 first, months and months ago, and then these two received it. But again, I think at the moment, at the stage and at the price, at the moment, this is my absolute winner. Daily driver, just put my Verizon SIM card in, works with no problem. Voice over LTE, video calling, HD calling, text, data, everything is great. Again, price versus performance. And on top of that, it's the fastest and the smoothest among all the other ones. Second, I'm gonna choose this Lenovo Zook Z2 because it's the absolute budget and at the same time flagship killer, because under $170, Snapdragon 820, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage, headphone jack, fingerprint reader, has the latest Android 7. Well, I mean, what can I say? It's great. Receives updates. Just recently, last week, I got an update over the air for it. So great again. The Samsung, it's a good phone, but way too expensive for the moment. I mean, unfortunately, Samsung is reaching the point where even last year flagships are being sold very expensive because it's now considered more of a high-end brand, whatever that people thinks it is. For me, it's just another phone, but $400 for this phone is unjustified, and I think the realistic price should be $300. And if it was $300, then this would have been a very difficult choice between the LG G5 and the S7 Edge. Last pick will go for the Limax 2 because no Android 7 right now. Some finicky stuff going on around, trying to find a good ROM to put on. This is extra steps that some people don't want to take. Out of the box experience on these other phones is better. This one you will have to play around a little bit to reach to a point where it's enjoyable. The stock ROM that comes into it, it's very old, no security patches. Even if you upgrade to the latest Chinese ROMs, they're still not that great. There's no up drawer, it's still marshmallow. So you're gonna have a little bit more challenges with this one, But if you're a person that wants to play around, you want to play with different ROMs, very easy to bootload, very easy to play around with custom ROMs and install, so no problems. If this is your thing, go ahead and do it. I play around with it a little bit, but I don't have that much time to experiment with a ton of different ROMs. I found the best one that kind of fits my purpose and my desire, and now if Lineage comes in with the official Android 7 on it, I'm gonna try that as well. So yeah, that's the winner for me, the LG G5. But again, make up your mind. All these phones are great. Depends on what kind of preferences you have, and depends what kind of budget, of course. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you again for sticking out for another lengthy video for this part 2 of the comparison. I'm gonna do more comparison between phones. I'm gonna do some phone wars and stuff like that very soon. A lot more videos I'm gonna film. There's several new phones that came out. I'm sure a lot of you guys will be excited to see them and kind of match them against some of these phones and see what else is new. So that's pretty much it. Hit the thumbs up, helps me a lot. Subscribe if you're new. There will be a lot more things coming in very soon. And until next time, guys, you have a wonderful day.